Hello, welcome to Wofoy TV. My name is Ikuya. If this is your first time here, thank you for stopping by this channel. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook, Wofoy TV. If you're somebody who has already subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing to Wofoy TV platform and following us on Facebook. Today, I'm going to talk about an important topic, and that is overstay. Okay? A lot of people don't realize that they have overstayed. All right, and this is based on my interactions with several people who received 5-year visa or 6 months visa, and they think that they can stay for the entire 5 years. And that is why I felt that it is important for me to talk to you guys about some of these things before they happen to you. Okay? Now, of course, there are some people who already intended to overstay. Okay, they intended to come and stay in America and not go back. And then there are some people who just came here for a visit, and depending on what is going on, they just stayed a little bit longer, but they are planning on going back home. Now, when you get your non-immigrant visa, sometimes some people get 5 years, some people get 1 year, or 6 months, or whatever the amount of time given to you. Sometimes the amount of time given to you is based on the validity on your passport, right? So if your passport is going to expire in less than 5 years, you obviously might not get a 5-year visa. All right, now for some people, when they get their visa and it says 5 years, in their head, it is like, oh, I get to stay in America for 5 years. But that is not the case, all right? The amount of time you are allowed to stay in the United States will be determined by the custom officer at your point of entry, okay? So after you come to the United States, you enter the first entry point, which is the port of entry. Whether you come by land or by sea or by air. If it's by air, then the first airport that you go through, and you go through immigration, they will determine how long you can stay here. So oftentimes they will stamp in and then write a date in there that maybe December 6th or September 14th. So that date that they wrote in, that is when you are supposed to depart from the United States. Okay? Now, let's say you're one of those people who didn't get any stamp, and you didn't get that number in your passport. It still does not mean that you can stay here for 5 years. No, because remember, that visa is for a temporary visit. So, I mean, come on now. When you come to America to stay here for 5 years, that's not a temporary visit. So if you're somebody who cannot locate this information, you don't know, you don't remember when you are supposed to depart from the United States, and you don't want to find yourself in trouble with the law, okay? Then this is what you will do. You will go online to CBP, which is customborderprotection.gov. When you go to their website, look for arrival and departure. All right, the form that you're looking for is I-94, and then just go fill out that information. It will ask you for your passport number, and it asks for your name. Just go through that information and then see. It will tell you when you are supposed to depart from the United States, just in case it is not in your passport or you cannot find it in your passport. All right, it is important that you do this so that you depart in a timely manner, especially for those of you who do not intend to violate the U.S. immigration law. All right. Now, if you overstay for a period of more than 180 days, and whether you are, placed in a removal proceeding or you voluntarily depart from the United States, you're going to face a 3-year bar from the United States. You're going to face a 3-year bar from the United States if you overstay for more than 180 days but less than 1 year. 180 days but less than 1 year. Now, if you overstay for 1 year or more, then you're going to get a bar for 10 years or even more than that. Okay? Now, how long you overstay will determine your punishment. And then sometimes somebody gets maybe like the 3-year bar, and then they try to enter the United States again. Now, if you are serving a bar, you've been barred for 3 years, and you still attempt, you haven't sought for permission to reapply and come to the United States, but you just, because you still have the visa and you just decided that, you know what, I am coming to America again, hopefully they don't see anything. Well, if you go through customs and they see, you go to U.S. immigration, they see that you are, unrepentant, we've barred you. You're supposed to stay outside of the United States for 3 years. You're supposed to stay outside of the United States for 10 years. And you decided to come to America without seeking us to, give you the permission to come, and you just show up at the U.S. ports of entry, then they could slap you with further punishment. So, for example, if you're somebody with 3 years bar and you just show up at the U.S. ports of entry, you just show up at JFK, they could give you the 10-year bar because you have not learned a thing. All right? So please, let your brothers and sisters, your mothers, your aunties who are on temporary visit to America and they got a 5-year visa, they don't need to overstay. Okay? You can go and come back another time. Make sure that you depart from the United States within the time that is indicated by the immigration official in your passport. If they say you should depart within 3 weeks or within 2 months or 4 months, even though your visa is 5 years, you must depart before that time, on or before that time. If you overstay, then you are going to risk your chances of ever being able to come to the United States again. Now, it doesn't mean that if you have been barred, you might not be able to apply for waivers and so on. But today, I just wanted to let you know that if you're looking for that information in your passport, if you have a 5-year visa, it does not mean that you should stay in America for 5 years. Okay, if you have 5 years visa, it doesn't mean that on your one visit you get to stay in America for 5 years. And then you'll be wondering, like, why can I not stay for 5 years? Well, because your visa was for you to visit. Now, if you stay here for 5 years, how are you going to support yourself? You might end up working illegally. All right, now that visa, tourist visa, is not for you to come and work. Tourist visa does not grant you permission to work. It does not grant you authorization for employment. So if they allow you to stay here for 5 years, how are you going to support yourself? You might be tempted to work. All right, so at the end of the day, just follow whatever they put in your passport. And like I said, if you cannot locate that information, go to cbp.gov and then look for I-94, which is arrival and departure history. Go there, fill in your information, your first name, your last name, and then your passport number, and then go through it. It will tell you how long you can stay in the United States and when you have to leave. All right, but guys, if you have watched this video to this point, thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. If you have any questions, comments, put them down below. I will answer them to the best of my ability. But guys, know that I am not an immigration attorney. So if you're somebody who is facing a bar in the United States and you want to know about how you should apply for waiver, how you can get help with, removing that bar, then you have to talk to an immigration attorney. All right, but guys, thank you so much for sticking around. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Wofoy TV. I love you guys, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye bye.